So if you live on a hillside and when it rains you get all sorts of mud in your home, this is to be expected, then I don't feel particularly bad for you when your home gets filled with mud. That's the price for having a home by a hillside. If you choose to live in Malibu where there are all sorts of fires, then you're also putting yourself in harm's way. If you choose to live in New Orleans, which is below sea level, and you're given warnings about a tornado headed your way and you don't get out, then I don't feel terribly bad for you. So you might say, oh, I was poor, I didn't have any friends or family, and so that's why I couldn't get out. Well, maybe you should have been a better person with your life so that you'd have more friends. Maybe you shouldn't have acted the fool and alienated yourself from your family and potential friends. Maybe you should have studied in school instead of smoking dope. So when people make foolish decisions and then they suffer the consequences, I don't feel terribly bad for them. It's when people who lead a good and decent life and they get hit by a drunk driver or have something unfortunate happen, that's when I feel bad. Compassion by definition is limited and selective. If you give the same compassion to everyone, you're not being really compassionate. I think compassionate deserves to go to those who are deserving. In the 19th century, in England in particular, we had this notion of the deserving poor. These were poor people who weren't drunk all the time and who weren't riotous in their way of living, and they were deserving of help. And I say go back to that standard. For instance, I don't give charity to people who ask me on the streets because I figure most of them really in the final analysis just want the money to sustain their dysfunction, whether their problem is alcohol or drugs or the like. So I give my charity to organizations that help people, but I hope they use some selectivity when they give out their help.